Sounds so good, don't you agree? You're listening to Curtis R. Monday on She Flips, He Flips. Good morning to you, EJ.
Good morning, Curtis. How are you today?
I can't complain. Give us a call at 312-374-8130. That's 312-374-8130. The show is called She Flips, He Flips. The show has three primary goals. One, to create an inspirational blueprint for those interested in real estate investing. Two, to create generational wealth within our communities. And three, to be a source of education to help and provide resources to our community in this particular area. To learn more about real estate investing, if you want some one-on-one coaching, go to my website, www.curtisrmonday.com. Let's set up a one-on-one session so we can develop your strategy for all your insurance and financial needs. Call my office at 708-647-1005. Again, for real estate investing, coaching, business strategy coaching, www.curtisrmonday.com. For insurance, 708-647-1005. What do you need, EJ? What can they find you?
Good morning. You can find me. You can pick up the phone, 773-340-9101. You can shoot me an email at ej@buildingherlegacy.com. If you want to follow myself, my real estate investment projects, most of them is showcased on social media. You can find me at ultimate_EJ and also at Ultimate Real Estate Blueprint.
Gotcha. We're going to get into some discussions today. We got two topics we want to talk about. One, renovations. Renovations that will increase your home value and looking to sell your property. What should you do? What shouldn't you do? Some things to consider. We'll get into that. Also talk about the pros and cons of hiring a property manager. A lot of individuals want to talk about that when you own an investment property. So keep it locked here, 312-374-8130. EJ, you've been cheating on me, man. You didn't have Corey in here. You didn't have the credit expert.
Yes, Jerry Tolliver.
Oh my God! So you
left me high and dry. So what was we supposed to do? They say the show must go on.
Show must go on. Progress must start, man. Keep going. I totally get you. How was your week?
I had a really good week, a busy week. Okay. I can't believe it's already Saturday. Okay. Had a couple of closings, moving close to finally closing on a 2-flat we're going to take down over in the Grand Crossing area. Hopefully we'll be closing on that next week. We're going to convert it from...
Where's Grand Crossing at?
So Grand Crossing is, I would say, probably the late 60s into the 70s, around the expressway, maybe as far east as, it butts up to Avalon Park in South Shore. So not as far east as Stony, but like maybe South Chicago.
So that's the realtor in you. Only realtors talk about the Grand Crossing. Auburn, Gresham.
Yes, you got to know your neighborhoods.
Right, I do. I say, hey, Trey.
Don't say that. Okay, you sound foolish.
The Trey, right? The manor, like regular people.
The nine.
The
everybody
nine,
know
right?
What the nine
the
is.
Nine, right? K-Town, right? People like regular people say, but realtors say stuff like,
I'm sorry, I can't help myself.
Pullman. The hell is Pullman at? Like where? Like what?
The Hundreds,
right,
where I'm from.
Right. Where is that at? Like.
So I say the Hundreds, then you get it right.
I got a better idea. I know you're not talking about 127 like in Cicero when you say that.
No,
I'm like, okay, the Hundreds. I got a general idea in respect, but only realtors say things like Hyde Park, Kenwood.
Yeah, you got to know your neighborhoods now.
There you go. But other than that, the week was good?
It was a productive week. I got a chance to spend some time with my family this week. I went to the Bulls game, got to see Zion with my younger brother who's in town, Joe. Yeah. I think he's watching on Facebook. Hey, Joe. And then my daughter, she always has my life plan. I think I'm just a glorified chauffeur for her. Yeah. So she had a play date last night, went to a trampoline park, so... Yeah. I balanced. It was a good balance of a week.
You do a good job of balancing over. I mean, look, it's only real estate, your family, and eating. Like, these are the three things you're going to do.
And I did all of that this week. This was a Chicago restaurant week this week.
Chicago restaurant week. Like, this is what EJ does. Real estate, family, and eating. Like, and she gets it all in. I mean, you got to eat every day, but EJ gets it in.
Best
like,
in sports.
So, like the real. So good to see, man. We, from a business perspective, we had a good good progress with one of the projects, the 2-flat we're still working on. So they actually got inside and started with the whole duplex and things of that nature. And one of the good tips, though, again, when you're working with the difference between working with a one general contractor who has all the different work entities on the team, their own HVAC guy, their own electrician, plumber, et cetera, that they can kind of coordinate the work. When you work in the manner in which I work and using subcontractors, you have to coordinate it. And so we're doing some framing, but the framing actually had to stop a little bit because the plumber is doing drain tile in the basement and needs to demo the basement to do the drain tile. So you can't do the framing until he's actually done the drain tile. So we're not too far off schedule, but that's, again, you want to make sure you kind of coordinate those different things.
So when are you going to have me back for the design?
Well, you like for that project, it's really not you did the hard lifting when you told me about the duplexing.
Yeah.
Like from that part, we're going to use the same cabinets we used before from Home Depot, right?
So you're just going to redo my design from before?
You're going to do the same. But isn't that part about like the turnkey operation when you do like buy and hold? Like you come up with a strategy,
right?
And you use a template and boom, until you tell me that you need to do something different, Curtis. Right. So I listen to EJ. Like if you tell me for buy and holds, we need to use a different color scheme and okay, cool, I'll listen. But yeah, like, I don't know what else to do. Like you figured the hard part out for me. Like, okay, what do you do for the space?
Right.
And so, but you want to come.
Yeah, the layout is key. Yeah. That's really important.
We figured that out. But you want to come and pick out some knobs and, some, what do you call the thing we're changing at the other place? The lights.
Oh, the sconces.
The sconces.
Yes.
I don't talk with sconces. I talk like that.
We got to change those funeral home sconces out.
The light covers?
Yes. No, they're wall sconces.
Okay. So EJ's from now. I'll tell you on this other project with EJ and I working on, like I had in my mind, we're going to talk a little bit about that the rehab on this will just be phenomenal. Like action. I'm preparing myself to start Uber driving to get this extra money to go into the work I need to have done.
I tried to save you. You thought I was going to say you needed to do more things.
I thought I was being punked because so we're looking at a project that I'm working on and I'm getting ready to put it back on the market and I want to know, and we're going to talk a little bit about this, what EJ thought, because I respect EJ's opinion. So EJ, come on in. We recycle the money with our group. So the team holds the money. EJ going to list the property. So I'm like, okay, fine, come and see it. I'm expecting EJ, with her infinite wisdom and creative genius to give me this laundry list of expensive things that I need to do. And hey, I almost bought EJ a drink. Like when she gave me like, I don't need to do all this stuff. No. Really? You want to go eat?
You haven't taken me to eat yet.
You want to go eat? We can go eat.
You've been saving your money.
With that kind of news, EJ, man, that's cool. So that's all good. So yeah, like I said, I haven't been on this is my first week back since Kobe passed away, right?
Yeah.
And I promise, I did it on UBR. I'm not gonna go into a litany of things, but yeah, I'm still mourning. I'm still mourning. I think what hurts me the most when I think about Kobe Bryant, the thing I love about him the most is just his work ethic, just how he approached. Like, and we as an entrepreneur, you can respect that,
absolutely.
Relate to that,
Hard work is what sets you apart from so many people who talking about it,
sure,
dreaming about it, saying they're going to do it. Putting the hard work is what sets you aside.
Sure. Putting that work in. You might find people who are more talented than you are. You may find individuals who have more resources than you are, but
not going to outwork me.
Not going out. The work part is what we can, and so that's the part that hits home. So. Let's get into these topics. Renovations that will increase your home's value. As I mentioned, you and I are working on the project.
Yep.
And put a property on the market to sell, and trying to figure out what things need to be done in the property in order to give you a product or get you an asking price that you're looking for, and also to sell quickly. So let me pick your brain, my great EJ.
All right.
Realtor, selecting a realtor. You're going to list a property. A lot of different realtors. What characteristics or what should a person look for when selecting a realtor to list their property?
So it depends upon what your goals are.
Okay.
I think a realtor should be someone who can provide not only just access to your property on the MLS, what other value can they bring to the table?
Sure.
And I think one of the things that I can just speak for myself, and let's just talk about your project that you want to put on the market.
Sure.
I'm able to come in and say, you need to do this, spend the money here, don't spend the money there.
Sure.
If someone, because sometimes we come in and think we need to do so many things, and at the end of the day, you're going to be investing and you're not going to get the money back.
Right.
So there's a way to put your property on the market where you're maximizing its appeal, but you're not going overboard where you're not going to see that return.
Sure.
So that's one of the things. I think responsiveness is a big thing. How big of a reach do they have as far as being able to market your property? What other things are they going to do? An open house?
Yeah.
Are they going to have professional pictures taken? Just a lot of different things like that. Are they going to be the ones to show the listing? Yeah. Or are they going to just put on a Century Lock or a lockbox and just let the buyer's agent, do the selling? I like to do all of my own showings if possible.
Yeah.
Because I feel like no one's going to show it and sell it the way that I do. Because it's so funny. You come in and you actually do a showing as a listing agent. There's a difference even between how the buyer's agents, interact with their clients. So sometimes they come in and they just allow their clients just to walk through and they just kind of hang out in the living room and just let them be. You see some of them walk through and help point out features of the home and remind them, oh, remember you said that you wanted soft closing cabinets and drawers. This home has that. So just how well does the agent interact with their client? And I don't want to leave that to a buyer's agent to sell my property.
Sell your property, right.
Right. And then, you can speak to the neighborhood and different features of the home that the buyer's agent just may not do. And I think that's also what kind of separates a lot of agents from each other. It's just how involved they're going to be in the project.
Now, because I know EJ, and I know her work, and I know her professional acumen and what she brings to the table, there were those steps that she just mentioned, I really ignored because I already knew the answer to them. I think in addition to those things, I will be interested to see what's that person's wheelhouse. Are you more comfortable with selling homes in respect to versus being a buying agent? I want to know things like investment properties versus single family homes or residential properties. What's your take on that in terms of what's your wheelhouse?
Right.
I do definitely want to know if you're going to be the one showing the property or not, because if you and I meet and we sign contracts and things of that nature and we start to talk about it and we're going through the project, you should be able to speak volumes or be able to articulate fully the nature of this project, the selling points, et cetera, versus some third party who hasn't really spent a whole lot of time with you and I. So, yeah, and I'm like you said, I'm interested in the strategies, how you going to sell it.
Right.
You going to get some cookies to the open house? Do you do open? Because some people don't do open house. Do you do open houses?
Yes, I do.
Okay. For every project or you do?
It depends on the project. If someone is living in the home, a lot of times they don't want open houses because a lot of times it's just people that are just spending a Saturday or Sunday afternoon just driving around to open house. They're not really serious. And some people are a little weirded out by just a massive group of people that's kind of indiscriminate that's coming through their property and they live there. So it just depends on. But homes that are empty or newly rehabbed, I always do an open house.
I'm not a fan of my property being on lockbox. I'm not a fan of my property being on lockbox where the realtor isn't present. Mm-hmm. I know as an investor, realtor's not supposed to get a lockbox, but every property I go look at as an investor, the realtor gives me a lockbox. I'm not going. The properties are distressed anyway, so you can't. You're not gonna make it worse. But nevertheless, though, I got a track record for being pretty responsible. Mm-hmm. But if it's my particular property, something that's not distressed, we put TLC. I want to control
who's coming in and out. And I think the other thing, what I like about showing my own listings is you're able to get the feedback. Although I do put the buyers or the buyer's agent on the spot and I ask them, is there any feedback you'd like to share with me or to my client? And it depends on their comfortability, whether or not they'll give you some feedback. But a lot of times I can read their response, even if they're not saying anything. The rooms they're standing a little bit longer or them hanging back a little while. Sometimes that's a good sign that they're really interested or walking back through. Yeah. And that's something that you can't gauge if you're not there.
Absolutely. Give us a call, 312-374-8130. That's 312-374-8130. Mike Coben, I see you. Janiyah James, I see you. Demetrius Richardson out in L.A., I see you. And Sean Smith. Give us a call if you got questions. So when we're talking about listing a property and you're trying to determine what needs to be done in respect to renovations, let's talk about some things we should take in consideration that feeds into that decision making, and one of them has to be the CMA or what the comps are, right?
Sure.
How does a person, EJ, take in consideration or utilize the comps in determining what they should sell their property for?
So again, it depends on what your urgency is, because some people need to sell right away. So they may although they can see that the CMA has said that their home is worth $300,000. And you look at and you compare it to closed comparables. You go back as far as 6 months. You want to stay within about a half a mile
radius,
no more than a mile radius from your property.
Yeah.
It should be the similar style home, the number of beds and bath. And the other thing that's important is like the age of the finishes, because that speaks to the value as well. So if you are moving out of town and you don't have a company that's helping with your move and you don't want to be carrying two mortgages, or if you've already found your home and you need to move forward with that, some people may, if they can, list their property a little bit of a discount just to get it sold.
You're going to price it to sell.
You're going to price it to sell, exactly. Some people have ideas that their homes are worth more than they are, and that's most of the time with sellers. They feel their home is worth more.
It's my home, right?
Yes, your home. You love it. It has some sentimental value to it, which of course a buyer off the street is not going to perceive any of that value.
Won't be able to relate to that.
Exactly. Well, I put in these custom drapes, 5 years ago. Nobody cares about your drapes. Right, and it's amazing sometimes when you go in and do listing appointments, how the things that a seller or a homeowner will put out there
as selling points.
As a selling point. You're like, that's not really much of a selling point to the average buyer.
Yeah.
Okay. So it depends on why you need to get out of this, property, and what kind of time frame do you have. Now, some people who own their home, they're like, I'm not in a rush, so I'll kind of let it hang out there a little bit at a higher price so I can get a buyer. But then I also warn sellers, the longer your property is on the market,
it diminishes your power, your negotiating power.
Exactly. There becomes a stigma attached to it that something is wrong. Okay, well, these pictures look good, but there must be something wrong with it if it's still on the market 30 days later or 60 days later. And it could be nothing wrong other than it's overpriced.
In that situation, when you just kind of relist it but reduce the price by like a dollar or whatever amount just to give it a fresh new start.
Yeah, and then sometimes, buyers, if they're really studying the market and watching what comes on, they'll just remember, I saw this house before. They, brought the price down.
The CMA is good too, because the average individual doesn't have an idea what their home is worth, right? And so even in the project you and I are working on, the market has done several things over the years, and so I was shocked when we pulled the comps.
Oh yeah,
that it was where it's at. So it also helps you to kind of get an idea, like, oh, okay, cool, this is as well as I thought, or not as bad. Like, it just really puts it into perspective. I think another consideration that a person should probably think about when they're making these renovations is their budget.
Sure.
In addition to timelines, how quickly you want to get out of there, but also what budget, what amount are you willing to put into this property in order to get it to sell? Because that's going to really give you the limitations as to how you're going to approach the project.
Right. And when I talk to sellers about that, I ask that very question. So do you want to put some money into the property before you sell it? Yes. Well, how much? And they'll tell me what that budget is, and I'll say, okay, great. Well, this is where you need to focus. You need to put the money here. Forget putting new carpet in this back basement bedroom. You need to put a backsplash up in your kitchen. That's more value. That will, because the kitchen sells home, bathroom sells home. Somebody look at carpet, they can say, I can switch that out, or I may just take it out altogether. My kid's allergic, so that doesn't even matter.
Right.
So just doing those things, just making sure that you're putting the money where you're going to get the greatest return.
So I'm curious, EJ, if you're going to buy a piece of property, right? You and Jason going to buy a new home. Would your preference be a brand new home that's move-in ready, or would it be something that you can fix up, like a fixer-upper? I know. If I had to bet some money, I know what I would.
I'm a
the fixer-upper, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to put that EJ, that jingling.
Yeah.
You want to put that, like jingling. That you want to put that spin on it, right?
Yes.
See, EJ know what
I wish
jingling
you all
is,
could see him in the studio with these moves.
Right. You want to put that thing on it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that's me, because that's just what I do. I fix and flip. I love taking something from nothing and turning it into something beautiful.
Right.
And the thought of doing that for an average buyer is great, but to do it for myself,
right, it would
with
be a
my
dream come true.
Well, you know what? I think it would make me extremely anxious because I like a lot of things.
Right.
So it'd be hard for me to narrow it down for something that would be so permanent for myself.
Right.
But absolutely, a fixer all
See,
day. Well, I mean, from an aesthetic point of view, a functionality point of view, me looking at it, but then also from the financial part as well. Because when you fix up something, you usually buy it, whatever you're buying, usually a little bit distressed or reduced amount if it needs work.
Right.
And then what I would be able to put into it, I know that on the back end, when I put the key in the door, when I'm moving in, I'll be walking into equity. So it'll be win-win for me.
And see, I'm exactly the opposite. I don't have a creative bone in my body. I don't want to go through, picking out stuff. I like Yo MTV Cribs, right? I need to walk into Yo MTV Cribs. I need to walk into Yo MTV Cribs right there, already set. Now, I can list out that it needs to have a movie theater, and pool, and personal closet for my shoes,
right?
Like stuff like that. But that aside, I don't want to go through the whole decorating, rehabbing
now,
process.
don't get me wrong. I've seen some homes that I just say, you know what, just bring my clothes and I'm okay. This is beautiful.
Hey, but
if I had a choice,
you would like to fix up. Now,
yeah.
I asked that question because
or new construction where I can build it to my
specifications.
Actually, I would prefer that, a new construction home, because then I would be able to design the floor plan
to
with no limitations. Yeah.
So I asked that question because that's a consideration when you're trying to figure out what level of degree of renovations to put in the home.
Mm-hmm.
Porchandhome.com found that this year's buyers favor a fixer-upper over move-in ready homes. And I thought that was pretty interesting. It said 56.7% of Gen Xers and 50.7% of baby boomers prefer fixer-uppers versus move-in ready property. So that tells you as a seller, right, that you can pull back in respect to some of the renovations you're going to put into the home because right now, the trend is that individuals are willing to buy something under budget and come in there and put their own little TLC in it.
Yeah, I'm not really surprised by that. The last over 15, 16 years, home renovations and all these DIY shows and flipping shows, it's become so popular that people have an attraction to that now, thinking they can do it themselves. Not just, and I don't mean that they can't, but a lot of people can assume that they can do a little bit more and take on a little bit more than their skill set or their comfortability allows for them to. But I'm not surprised because it's so popular right now.
And it's great products like the 203K loan, really speaks to that individual who really wants to do that.
Right.
But again, the current environment for sellers is to focus on low maintenance renovations to ensure the best investment. So with that said, if the environment, EJ, is as such that you don't have to do all the major renovations, and people actually prefer fixer-uppers, then where do you strategically spend your money at in the property to give you the best opportunity to get the best return on your money? And some of these things that made the list wasn't really surprising. We'll start backwards and work our way up. Top 3. Number 3 on that list, interior painting, right? Fresco to paint can do a lot, can make you look at it.
It can.
Yeah.
Because think about your property.
Yeah. Hey, don't do that. Don't do that. Hey, she going to make y'all think I got some Three's Company type paint. I might be dating myself. I don't do that. Hey, I like warm. I need to feel warm. I have earth tones, warm.
Not that bright. I have on a red sweatshirt. He has a room in one of the... And he said, "Oh, that's State Farm."
But red. I'm a State Farm agent, so of course.
That's the first room that's being updated.
Yeah, that's my office. It's red. Caliente. That's what it is, right? But I look at a Fresco to paint probably like makeup on a woman.
Watch it.
You put some makeup, you don't look like that when you first wake up. Okay. You don't look like they got to be consistent, big cousin. How you wake up and how you go out need to be. It can't be that much disparity. You can't be this way and that way. I got to still recognize you before.
You know what?
So with the home Fresco to paint,
yes,
27.6% of the people said that.
And that is an inexpensive fix or upgrade. And I would do something neutral because people are still going to come in and customize and maybe do an accent wall, or once they have their decorations in, they'll do something. But I think painting, taking down red walls and Tiffany blue.
Things that speak to the uniqueness of the
Tiffany
home.
Tiffany blue rooms.
Right.
That's another room that we're going to be painting at his property.
There you go. Number 2 on the list in terms of where to go.
Yes.
I don't know if I definitely agree with their list, but they had number 2 as kitchen remodel, right? Well, it's basically virtually tied between 1 and 2, so we can just say 1 and 2, 1A, 1B, kitchens and bathrooms. Well, everyone says kitchens and bathrooms, but if you, as an expert in terms of helping people sell properties as a real estate agent, you got $1 to spend, you have to choose between bathrooms and kitchen, you would say?
Probably still the kitchen.
Kitchen, yeah.
It's still at the heart of the home.
Yeah.
And people deem a kitchen renovation, and which they are, more expensive than a bathroom as well. So if you as a consumer or buyer are coming in, most of them don't want full gut renovations. They want some things in place. Maybe it's the hardwood floors or, like we said, some neutral paint that they can deal with for a little while and spend money more on the furniture. Because most people who are buying a new home, they're buying some new furniture as well. So all of that tends to add up.
Sure.
So some of the things that can upgrade your kitchen is as simple as a backsplash, a really nice backsplash.
Yeah.
Changing out the pulls or the hardware on your cabinetry. Those are small and not too expensive to do, but they can completely change the look of your kitchen.
And what's the cabinet, again, your realtor speak, EJ, the cabinets that kind of the soft
closing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That's
the
slick.
soft closing.
That's slick. I like
cabinets
that.
and drawers. Yeah,
like
that's
that.
pretty standard in a lot of renovations.
You know, in my kitchen, for the next property, I always wanted one of those stove. I wanted like the island in the middle with the ability to cook on.
So you want the cooktop in your island?
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, I like that, EJ. I like that, EJ, a lot. I like that a lot. I like to cook. Like I can as a guy, I can actually cook, and so I want the cooking and being able to have space to create is important to me, and a really really big.
And that's
refrigerator.
a personal preference because some people don't like that.
What?
Cooktops in the island. You would have to have a really nice sized kitchen for that to make sense.
Yeah, I need that plus the Hennessy Douce holder. I don't do wine. I don't really do wine. So the Douce Hennessy holder.
I can't with you today.
In terms of when I purchased it, you know, I bought this one last week on Stony, and I bought this one. Right. Yeah. I mean, I need to speak to my character. Backsplash is important. A big refrigerator, right? I love a big refrigerator so I can be able to cook and create. So, yeah, that would be important. And the TV.
And the TV.
I need a TV in my kitchen so I can watch the news and stuff like that. Okay, so bathrooms.
Yes.
Bathrooms. I can see why bathrooms are important. You spend a lot of time in the bathroom, so I see that. What are some tips about bathrooms and renovation? Lighting
is really big now.
Yeah.
So, and that can be something that you can update that doesn't cost a lot. With the lighting that's over your mirror in your bathroom.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, people are really into lighting now. So, and you can go online and find some really decent light fixtures and have that installed. Not really that important.
Sure.
Or expensive. If the cabinet, the vanity, like where the sink is and the cabinet underneath is nice, maybe just change out the countertop.
Sure.
On it and put a new faucet. All of those things, because those are the things that dates the bathrooms, you know, the light fixtures, countertops, obviously the tile and stuff too, but that's taking it to another level if you're starting to rip out, you know, the wall tile in the shower or the tub or the floor.
I got three asks with my bathroom.
Yes.
I hope you're taking notes because you're going to put you on this project pretty soon. One, shower.
Yes.
I need a nice shower. Like when I go on vacation, some of these vacation spots have real nice shower. I need to be able to sit down and the water can hit me in my midsection, hit me in my face. I need like to be able to sit down and just relax. I don't want to stand up all the time. I want to sit
have
down.
A bench.
Yeah, there you go. EJ need to have a lot of space that can accommodate.
Maybe a shower panel or rain shower head.
But it needs to be able to accommodate like at least 4. In the shower, I need at least 4 in the shower, my shower. So that's important. The tub.
Yes.
I'm 6'2". I'm 220. Yeah, I'm big boy. He said, "Hey."
You know, you acting like these NBA players and a couple of inches to their height.
Look, hey,
now you're 6'2".
I'm 6'2". I'm all 6'2". But I need a tub, like a big tub. Like I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't like the standalone, like the tub that sits in the middle. I like Whirlpool jets. I like
now, and that's a personal preference because now people are tending to like just deep soaking tubs now. Yeah. But circa 2003, 4, 5, if you didn't have a jetted tub,
yeah, but you can't put nobody in this. Chance the baby can't get like he come on, like I need a tub that can at least accommodate like my son that can at least accommodate a couple people in the tub. EJ just can't be like.
I get it. So I mean, but they have really nice sized deep soaking tubs as well.
For one,
unless you want like a corner unit jacuzzi tub that we have in our master that we thought when we got married, what, in 2005, and the original floor plan for the master had double vanity, separate shower, and just a regular 5-foot jetted tub.
Sure.
And we're all extra in love, like, ooh, we need a corner unit jacuzzi tub with jets and
until reality sets in.
Right, and then you realize you don't even have time for that, you know. But I think more people, and especially if it's a resale, and buyers there's going to be their bathroom. They don't like the thought of the jets that someone else has been sitting in this tub.
Really?
Yeah, that's not. A lot of people are weirded out or creeped out by that.
I didn't know that.
Because it depends on how clean the previous owner kept the jets, and so it's not as popular anymore is to have jetted tubs unless it's brand new.
I need his and hers vanities, right, for overnight guests, or I need his or her vanities. I need my own space.
Now I agree with that.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Even for people who are single and buying, they still want double vanities because it's just extra countertop space, and it may not be just you forever.
Yeah,
but people do like that because it looks more luxurious.
Yeah, it does. I had relationship issues one time when we shared the vanity because she would get pissed because I left toothpaste and like toothpaste residue, and she got really pissed about. I bought the toothpaste. I paid a mortgage. Like, what the hell?
You know what?
Anyway.
I agree. Couples need to have
you
their
need your own
sink.
Right. You have your own hair care products, and exactly. I got my sporting waves for my little oil for my bald head or whatever the case with my beard stuff. Let me have my own space. You have your own space. But here's the numbers. Let me give you the real numbers. So in terms of getting back your money, in terms of repairs, again, for minor kitchen repairs, on average about $22,000. That don't sound real minor to me. We're spending $22,000 in the kitchen.
That is a lot.
But yeah, so
that's what you doing a complete renovation.
I thought that was a major kitchen repair. $22K.
That is not minor at all.
But given the credibility for the article, okay, minor kitchen repair about $22K. Mm-hmm. You can expect a net return on your money about 81%. So you spend $22K on a kitchen repair, you can get about 18 G's of your money back. On a new roof, asphalt shingles, $22,360, $636. Net returns about 68%, meaning you get about $15,000 your money back. And in the bathroom remodel, $20,420. Net return $13,717. Don't take those numbers for gospels. Just take the information in the sense that when you're putting money into the property to sell it, bathrooms, kitchens, interior painting would be the way to go. Let's take a real quick break. And we come back, we're going to talk about pros and cons of hiring a property manager. We'll be right back here on C Flips, He Flips. Welcome back to C Flips, He Flips. I'm Curtis R. Monday.
Hi, I'm EJ Williams. We're having a little too much fun today.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready.
That's all right. 312-374-8130 to get more one-on-one coaching about business and real estate investing. Call me. No, go www.curtisrmonday.com. That's www.curtisrmonday.com. Hit the icon to book an appointment. Let's get together for your insurance and financial needs. Call my office at 708-647-1005. EJ, where can people find you?
You can find me online. You can actually go to my website, buildingherlegacy.com. You can schedule a consultation if you have any questions about being an aspiring investor, or you are an investor and you're looking to scale up. Give me a call or schedule a consultation if you're looking for a realtor or just help with all of your real estate investing needs. Hit me up. I can be reached at 773-340-9101 and by email at ej@buildingherlegacy.com.
So this is the problem with C Flips, He Flips. EJ and I generally have a passion for this topic, and we like talking to each other, right? So you get lost in these conversations, and it's a combination of information and just pure conversation that time runs out on us, right? And so sometimes we don't have an opportunity to fully divulge or open up the book on a particular topic before time flies, right? So it's 11:46.
Already?
We got 14 minutes, and the topic is property management, pros and cons of property management. So I'll tell you, I ask you, woman's choice, EJ. We can either talk about it and try to do our very best in the next 14 minutes to talk about it, or I'm pretty sure we got something else we can talk about for the next 14 minutes that's going to be an equal value. But it's an important topic because a lot of people
let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it because I've had some property management things to come up this week. I do property management as well.
Okay.
I don't really advertise that part of my business because I have enough to keep me busy.
Yeah, property management is a very important and oftentimes thankless job that people endure.
Say thankless again.
Thankless. So pros and cons of hiring a property manager. Here's the first thing. You got to know what to look for, right? So the first thing on the list is integrity, right?
Sure.
But you can't really interview integrity. So how does one find a property manager that has integrity, EJ?
This is a referral business.
Yeah.
And something like property management, this is an asset that you as an owner have. You need to make sure that the person that you're giving pretty much carte blanche to make decisions and to have access to and interaction with your tenants, that they are operating with a level of integrity.
Sure.
And most times you have to do that via referral or just constantly staying in contact with them.
Sure. So definitely personal referrals is one. Another one would be professional integrity, looking to see what their professional imprint looks like. Are they licensed and bonded? Do they have a website?
Right.
Are there testimonies with the Better Business Bureau or consumer websites that talk about experience? Can you ask them for a referral list? Can you go visit some of their projects? Different things are a way for you to be able to figure out, do they have integrity both personally and professionally? Two, another thing to look for, familiarity with your property type.
Right, because all property management is not one fits all.
Residential is going to be totally different from a strip mall.
Exactly.
Yep.
And different from handling college town rentals with a bunch of college students.
Sure.
It's just different. You need to, I personally just do residential.
Yeah.
So I don't manage commercial properties. And that's part of my real house because anything that comes up in a house, I'm already seeing that on a regular basis as an investor and as a developer. So I have at my reach plumbers and electricians and HVAC professionals and things like that. So it's very easy for me to be able to find solutions for those problems that come up in a multifamily, even if apartment building or a single family. So it's a little bit easier for me to do those things. And then because I have some experience and I'm not a professional in those disciplines, but
it's not something
it's
totally
not foreign.
Yeah.
Exactly. Those things aren't foreign to me.
I like to know how many clients a property manager has right now. And I don't want the property manager that's just kind of starting out or too small because I don't know about their track record.
Right.
And they have the infrastructure to be able to help me. And then again, I don't want the property manager that's too big, right, that won't give me the level of attention that I may need in respect to my property. So size really matters to me in terms of what your operation is. What about money handling? That's a huge consideration. How do they handle the money?
So it depends, again, on the owner, and that's up to them whether or not they have a property manager that is okay with how they want that done. Like for me, we have a business account, and I have my owners to keep a certain amount in that account
for incidentals or
minor so
repairs.
if there's a repair that's typically somewhere between, it depends on the owner, $300 to $400 or less, I can just go on and have the repair done, just update them, let them know, send them receipts and things like that. But if it's something over that, I need to get their approval and let them understand why it's needed, and also ensure them that I've done my best with getting the best pricing for that.
What bothers me sometimes with some of the property managers that I've interviewed is that they want to be the persons who collect the rent, right? They want the tenants to write the check payable to their property management company, and they're the ones or the conduit. I don't like, as EJ say, someone collecting my coins, right? I want to be able to get my money from my tenants, and then I'll pay you what I owe you and disperse, et cetera. So
I've done both.
Yeah.
I've done both, and I always allow the owner to kind of decide which one. But a lot of properties that I'm managing lately are Section 8 or CHA properties, so that money is just going directly to the owners.
Yeah.
And if there is a portion, it depends. It literally, every situation for me is different. There are some where the owner say, you know what, you collect the tenant's portion, because sometimes it's not, all of the rent is not covered with the payment, and then I can deduct, from there. But if it's a tenant that's not doing exactly how we want, they may want to collect it. And
when you get with these bigger operations, they tend to have time frames in which they pay things out at certain times, and it doesn't coincide with how a tenant pays the rent. And then as an entrepreneur, to be honest, sometimes you're juggling back and forth with different things. So I just want to be able to have control over my money.
Right.
But when it comes to money handling, the other topics can come up, like with late fees with tenants. A lot of these bigger operations, they don't want to even get into late fees. And as a landlord, having penalties in place for you paying your rent in an untimely fashion I need to make you feel the ramifications.
A sense of urgency.
What you're doing. Like, so, because you drinking Coronas and stuff on my money and ain't paying me my money. So, so that's a problem for me. Security deposits. Some of these companies, bigger property management companies, don't want to collect security deposits because of the liability.
Right. A lot of them are moving towards move-in fees.
Yeah.
Just a non-refundable move-in fee, but typically you can't charge as much as a month's rent for a move-in fee. So that again also depends as well, because it has to be stored. The security deposit has to be kept in a separate account, an interest-bearing account. Yeah, and logistically, a lot of landlords or owners are moving away from that because they just don't want to deal with that.
Exactly. Here's something else a consideration when choosing a particular property manager. How are you going to handle vacancies? Are you going to be responsible for marketing, my vacant apartment? What's that process? I want to know what tools you use. How you market? What's your success rate?
Right.
Because right now, as an individual, you do different things like hire a realtor and pay them some kind of commission for it. But I also want to know if the property manager, is that going to be a responsibility for you, and how do you do that? And if, with that respect, what's your procedure in place for moving out in terms of restoring or rehabbing, hopefully little or no rehab on the actual property, and things of that nature. You talked about repairs.
Yes.
Here's a big one, though. Some property managers, some things to consider. Do you handle the eviction process? Because without property managers, you have the eviction process is only handled one of two ways. Either you downtown as the owner, getting pissed off because they're not giving you good information, you getting lost, or you put an attorney on retainer and pay them $500-$600 to go down to do it. But you can get property managers now who will, for an extra fee, pay or handle the whole eviction process.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and luckily for me, I haven't had to do that.
Thank God.
Yeah, although I keep myself abreast of the laws and how you can go about doing that, but I haven't had to evict anyone just yet.
So pros and cons with property manager. Pro number one, again, at 4 of them, save time and preserve energy, right? Your time should be better spent as a serious real estate investor with finding new projects, trying to see how you can grow and expand. So being able to save as much time and energy is important. 2 would be growth. That's a big one.
That's the biggest thing, because if you're just a mom and pop, you just want to own a couple of, maybe a 2-flat here, a single family there, maybe you have the flexibility to manage a few doors. But when you're trying to scale up and own 6-unit, 10 units, 50-unit buildings, you as a single person, you cannot do that not efficiently.
Not efficiently or at a high level, you can't do it.
No.
So you're going to have to bite the bullet. Of course, avoid headaches, because as a landlord, people who don't like investment property or like, buying whole, don't want to get the call.
That's what I hear all the time. I don't want to be a landlord. I don't want people calling me at 2:00 in the morning. I always say, hire a property manager then.
Yeah,
if it's worth it. If you have acquired a property and there's enough spread where you're clearing $600-$700 a month or whatever it is. It depends. If this is just one unit, then maybe you don't need a property manager. But again, when you're doing multiple and you want to keep growing and scaling, and then that way, if the more doors you have, you can probably negotiate a lesser amount as far as the percentage that a property manager would ask for.
Sure. Another thing you want to take in consideration, what kind of reporting mechanisms do they have in place for people who are late at the end of the year when you need to file your income taxes, and in terms of having a true accounting of who paid what? That's also an important thing. The only particular con that I can come up with in respect to property manager would just be the cost. And it just depends upon where you are, But the cost, depending upon who you're talking to, isn't as bad as what you really think.
Right.
That 4 to 12% of the gross rents, I can see how that can be a headache based upon what you may be netting, right? But some of the people who I've talked to charge maybe like $99 a unit. So if it's a 3-unit, right, that's $300, and if the cash flow is there, it can be worth it. And like you said, to your point, EJ, you can negotiate when you have more doors that they actually do. But true, if you're trying to get scale and trying to grow, it's a cost of doing business.
And doing it efficiently and then allowing you, to continue to grow.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm saying it right now. Time flies when you're having fun, EJ. So, EJ, in closing, give us some parting thoughts and where can individuals find you?
My parting thought is just I'm getting a lot of feedback from people who are still on the fence about real estate investing. I just say educate yourself, look and seek out a mentor, a coach, someone who's doing it well and has been doing it for a while. I mean, shameless plug, myself, my husband, we've been in business for a while, but I just want to see more of us investing and investing confidently. And if you need some coaching, you can reach out. You can find me at 773-340-9101. You can shoot me an email at ej@buildingherlegacy.com. I'm on social media, ultimate_EJ and Ultimate Real Estate Blueprint. But on the buildingherlegacy.com website, there is a place where you can go and schedule a consultation.
Absolutely. I echo that sentiment. I get so many people who email me or call my office and want to talk about real estate investing. And I think that they think in this initial conversation that I'm going to solve all their problems with initial conversation. No, it doesn't work like that. And if you're trying to buy a piece of property and you're using financing or leverage to do it, every company that you work with is going to make you have some equity or some skin in the game, right? It's no different than when you're trying to get a coach or a mentor. You got to have some financial equity in the game in order to really, really show that you're vested and that person has time. So the people who contact me and call me, I encourage you, take the next step. Go ahead and take the next step and let's sit down and actually really, really do it and schedule your appointment. EJ and I both post videos about some of our projects to be able to inspire hope and inspiration that you can see that you too can go ahead and do this if you so desire, and here's a resource to be able to do it. If you need to get your insurance and financial house in order, call my office, 708-647-1005. That's 708-647-1005. If you want to schedule some one-on-one strategic coaching in your real estate or business, call me. Go to my website, www.curtisrmonday.com, www.curtisrmonday.com. We got to get out of here. C Flips, He Flips. I'm Curtis R. Monday.
I'm EJ Williams.
Talk to you later. Goodbye.
The talk of Chicago and the voice of the nation. 1690 WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
If you're a small business owner, you know what it means to your customers. You're the local pro, a neighborhood problem solver, a person in their community